This will be the second video of a series of videos created to support HUSD teachers while working with Zoom. In this video, I'm going to focus on creating meetings that are recurring and using registration and authentication. So to get started, I'm going to log into zoom.us, sign in with my district email. And once you're signed in, go ahead and click on schedule a meeting. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule this for my second period Engineering 2 class. And for purposes of this example, I'm going to make this a 2 p.m. class, although really that's a 10 a.m. class. But just so it doesn't mess up with my other meetings, I'm going to keep it to 2 p.m. And I'll make this a Monday-Thursday meeting. I recommend creating one meeting for Monday, Thursday, and a second meeting for Wednesday, and not try to use the same link for the entire class, for the entire week. And I also recommend for the Wednesday class not to put an hour. Make sure you put 30 minutes so that when the meeting populates in the student's calendar, there's not a huge overlap with other classes. Once you set up your first meeting, go ahead and click on recurring meeting, and this will make it happen weekly. And I can select Monday, Thursday here, or whatever is appropriate. And instead of telling it how many times to occur, I'm going to just change the end date and make that June 10th, which I believe is the last Thursday of the school year. And that's all set up now. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go ahead and require registration. And you want to select the first one here that says attendees register once and can attend any of the occurrences. So once they register for your meetings one time, they can come back to all the meetings. Security I'm going to leave alone. And video, again, I'm going to leave that alone. I'll keep those two to on. Audio is locked by our district, so we don't have an option there. Do not select the first one, because if you do, then their students may join the meeting before you get there. And you definitely want to mute participants when they get there in case there's some background noise going on behind them. Next, you want to require authentication to join. That means that only people who are logged in to Zoom with an email, an actual account, can join your meeting. In the future, there should be an option that says only authenticated HUSD users can join. Since all of our students already have accounts through their HUSD email, then you can restrict your meeting to only those people, and that is a great option to have. So hopefully that is something that will roll out soon. As of now, it's not available. But again, as I said earlier, if you're having a meeting with a parent, you don't want to have registration. You don't want to require authentication just because the parents may not have a Zoom account. Since I first recorded this video, there's been a little bit of a change. Now when you click on require authentication, you can select HUSD accounts, which is what you want if you're going to make a meeting for students. Only students with HUSD accounts or participants with HUSD accounts will be able to register for the meeting and join the meeting itself. If you select sign in to Zoom, that means that anyone with a Zoom account, doesn't matter what the domain is, will be able to join. And for parents, you want to make sure you don't select that. I always recommend teachers record their meetings to the cloud just in case there's any issues. I never watch those and I don't share those. I keep them there in case there's an incident and I need to go back and see what happened. And once you've done that, go ahead and click save. And there's one more thing that we need to adjust here before we can start sharing this link with our students so they can register for our meetings. And at the bottom here of the meeting, and if you lost this, you simply click on meetings, and this is that second period Engineering 2. At the bottom it says manage attendees, view. There's no attendees to view right now. And it also says automatic approval. That's something you want to turn off. You want to make sure it's manual. Otherwise, during your meetings, you could potentially have random people join your meetings because it's set to automatic. And I'll show you how to use this in a second here. Now that registration is set to manual approval, we are ready to share our link with our students. this is not a link you want to email to your students, because we don't want our students to become dependent of this link. This is not a Zoom meeting link. This is a Zoom registration link. You want to share this either in a Zoom chat when you're helping your students set up for the first time, maybe in Google Classroom where you can add it as a notification and then take it down when you're done. When students click on this link, they will be able to fill out the information. As of now, they can put any email because there's no HUSD authentication required. So their personal Gmails will work. However, it is on you as a teacher to not allow any emails other than district emails to register for your meeting. So here I filled out my information to use as an example. I did use my personal email, but we want students using their school email. When I click register, I'm going to get a pending approval notice, which is fine. We want to let the students know that this is what they can expect to see. So now that I have a registrant, and for you as a teacher, hopefully you'll have all of your students register. Under the meeting here, I'm going to go to meetings, and I'll go back to that test meeting, that second period engineering at 2 p.m. I'm going to scroll down, and here now it says 1 registrant. Before it said 0. So I'm going to go ahead and click edit on the far right. And here I see my personal email. So in this case, if this was my class, I would select and deny this student because they're using a personal email, not a school email. But because purposes for the example, I'm going to go ahead and approve for now my personal account. And now that I'm approved, the student should be able to check their email and they'll see what it looks like. I'll show you what that looks like here now. So here's the email that the student will receive from Zoom, and Zoom is able to email our middle school and high school students. At the bottom of the email, there's a few different links, and the important ones are the click here to join, and the more important one is add to Google Calendar. We want the students to add to their calendar so that when the time comes to join the class, instead of going to this email and clicking here to join, they can simply go to their calendar and they'll find the event with the appropriate link to join. So here I'm going to go ahead and add it to my calendar. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And this should now show up on my Monday and Thursday, and it's right here. It's there 3 times because I've had to record this part 3 times, so I did it 3 times. So on Monday at 2 p.m., every Monday at 2 p.m., they'll see this notification about the class, and all they have to do is click on this link. So for example, my Wednesday is well set up here. So on Wednesday, students can just click on their class that they need to go to and simply join the meeting. And if done correctly, if all the teachers follow the same process, then it'll be very easy to follow for the students. If the teachers, for example, if first period sets up a meeting for 4 hours by accident, which I've seen, then it's going to overlap the meeting the way this tech support does. It'll overlap their other classes. So it's important for teachers to set up their meetings for the appropriate times and for the appropriate duration. So if it's a 30-minute class, then set it up as a 30-minute class, not an hour class. And that brings this meeting to a wrap. When the teacher is ready to start the meeting, they pretty much click on Start This Meeting. When the student is ready to join the class, they'll click on their calendar link and join via the calendar link. If a student tries to register during the class, so if it's Monday 2:30 p.m. and I'm in the middle of my class and a student tries to join or tries to register during the middle of the class, well, they're not going to get in because I'm not going to be paying attention to my registration, and I won't be able to manually approve him in the middle of the class. But the pros is that you also won't be hacked, because if you have it on automatic approval and you're in the middle of class and some random person grabs that registration link, then they can automatically just join your meeting if your meeting is in progress. So that's why it's very important to have the manual approval, although there is the extra step of going in and approving them manually. Thank you for watching.